Shout out to Vortex, Livermore.
Happy 2-year anniversary, man.
Happy 2 years.
That's big.
2 years. Yeah, we were out there yesterday and got to tap in with a couple students, a couple people that we met in Livermore at Vortex also that were just doing some shopping while we were there with the KCX experience. And got to see the Vortex staff, which is always nice. Good people, nice family, good people, very, very hospitable. And we also ran into Jeff and Casey. Always a good time when we see those brothers. So it's so shout out to Casey, Jeff, and they surprised us with a little gift. This was a little gift they saw. They said, I think you guys need a couple more
high quality towels.
Applicator pads, quality towels, if you will. So yeah, it's even the same brand that Pops had. So
True 4X.
Yeah, for us, things like this, that's a thoughtful gift for us because I even came home and I showed the wife, she was dying. She was like, "Oh, it's even the same brand." And they had to go deep in the hood to get this. So shout out to Jeff, Casey. Love you guys. Thank you guys.
If you guys don't know what we're talking about, go watch the Wash and Talk with Pops.
The old school Wash and Talk. Today, we're just going to jump right into it, man. We've been doing the breakdowns of the KCX lineup and sinking in a little bit, speaking from terms of actual application and how we use it, by case use, and how it's been effective for us. So we're going to continue down the line, and today we're going to get into the red line. So we're going to get So the red line is going to be man, when I think of the red line of the KCX products, I'm like, we're throwing everything at this car. If it's getting some of the red line stuff,
someone's getting paid.
Yeah, we're getting paid because we're doing a lot more work. Some more steps are involved, and you're going to be doing more intense work to get a better outcome. But the good thing is the red line products do most of the work. In the past, we would have to be doing the scrubbing, a lot of the manual labor that got us to that prep spot of the vehicle where we're now we can get into the detailing because we got all that grime and everything kind of worked down. So the red line is what you need to get those cars beat up before you go into refinement, before you go into detailing, before you go into polishing. So let's kick it off with the first question everybody always asks is, what's the difference between Alkaline wheel cleaner and Magic wheel cleaner? So I'm gonna break this one down because, and Sal could chime in, but I'm the one who primarily is doing the wheels. The other wheel cleaner we don't have here is the acid. That's another one. That's the other piece of the red line that we have. The acid we use, we really don't like that acid. We were able to use for water spot removal, but it's primarily for trucks. All acids are kind of formulated a little different. For us, we like acid that's a little bit on the more aggressive side, and we use acid liberally. So we generally go with we go with the nasty acid. We're not using the KCX acid all the time because when we're using acid, it's nasty work. So we're using we need something that's going to be on that borderline of dangerous to not only the vehicle, but to the pump sprayers you're using it in, all that stuff. So
it's that nasty, that gangster.
Yeah,
bring that 2 Live crew out.
Yeah, they just
bring that NWA out.
Yeah. So when we're usually using acid, we usually got the hazmat suit on. It's we're covered up. So the KCX acid, it's an acid, but it's going to give you different performance for a targeted type of work. So I've used acid on the wheels, and honestly, between most acids and Magic wheel cleaner, I'm going to go with Magic wheel cleaner almost, I would probably say like 99% of the time. Because Magic wheel cleaner, if used properly, it is just as effective as most acids out there on the market if you're diluting them at a safe dilution, the acids. Obviously, you don't want to go full strength with any acid. That can be really dangerous. That can be harmful to the user as well as to the material that you're putting it on. So acid always has to be diluted. Obviously, you can make it stronger if you want, but the risk factor is also going up quite a bit. For this being so safe and being able to be applied to any type of wheel, and the dwell time is crazy, that in itself to me is more valuable than the efficiency and the quickness of acid, because the acid has too many cons that come along with that good finish. I would rather do Magic Wheel Cleaner, and if it's real grimy work and it needs a little bit of scrubbing, I'd rather do that because it's going to be very, very light scrubbing. I would rather go that route than with full strength acid or acid that's diluted to a point where it's unsafe and just really where you're on that borderline. But Magic Wheel Cleaner, man, that's for the down and dirty reactive wheel cleaner. You're pulling everything out. We like this wheel cleaner with Bentley wheels.
All high performance vehicles.
Yeah, like Mercedes AMGs,
the Audi S series.
Yeah,
the M series BMW.
Yeah.
High performance Mustangs.
Yeah.
All of that stuff. You guys are doing those vehicles, man. Get you some Magic Wheel Cleaner.
Anything with a Brembo brake on it, that's anything that's kicking out a lot of brake dust, anything that has like a complex braking system.
Those Hellcats.
Yeah. Yeah. And we've even used this on, Ford GTs and Ferraris. We've used this on some of the most expensive cars that we've worked on, if they're being driven. A few of our clients take their Ferraris to the track and they use their Ferraris the way a Ferrari is supposed to be used. So we have to go in and really work it. We feel confident using this opposed to using some sort of acid or sitting there for 20 minutes on each wheel with some other type of product where we got to use a bunch of it too.
On those type of vehicles, those high performance vehicles, you need to let it dwell. So we sometimes wash the whole car, and
it's still dwelling. Yeah, we'll put this on as we're doing the pre-wash process. So if it's really bad, I'll go through. I'll hit each wheel really quickly just to get a lot of that surface brake dust and grime off. Once it stops, kind of. The water's mostly clear because you'll see the brake dust water coming off. Once that kind of starts to clear up as I'm rinsing, then I say, okay, I'm going with the Magic Wheel Cleaner. Go in Magic Wheel Cleaner, spray the whole rim inside and out. Sal will come in with the MS over the top. We'll let that dwell. We do the whole pre-wash, let the wheels still dwell. The wheels are still dwelling, and then we'll go through, spray for the contact wash, or we might go in with the next one, RRR, do that process after the pre-wash. These are still dwelling. Let the RRR go in, and then when it's time to do the foam, we'll foam over the whole thing, including the wheels. So now you're giving even more dwell time, and you have a soap hitting it as well. So it's cleansing everything. It's just stacking on stacking with process, and it just makes the wheel cleaning process that much easier. And by the time we remove this, most of the wheel is pretty clean.
So this gets used not very often. When we had to bring the RR.
Yes. And I think that's a misconception with all brands. They think they need an iron remover and a decon for wheels and all that stuff. And this probably... I'm almost positive, besides ceramic coatings, I'm pretty sure that decons for a consumer is going to be one of the higher price points per ounce of chemical use that you're using. And you have to use it liberally for it to really work. So make sure you're using them under the right situation. Same thing with the reactive wheel removers. They're not cheap, but again, we're not using it for every single car. With the Magic Wheel Cleaner, we're only using this in certain cases when we know it needs it.
On these Magic Wheel Cleaner, what is it dilutable?
You use it straight.
Is it dilutable? And what is the application process? Pump sprayer, the trigger sprayer?
I like the trigger sprayer. It's a little viscous, so coming out of the pump sprayer, it does have it has a little bit of an issue sometimes getting out and getting even. I like to use it through the sprayer. I've used both of these through the pump sprayers, but depending on what type of sprayer you have, obviously it's going to vary, and you have to put a lot in your pump sprayer. And I like being a little bit more controlled with the trigger. Some people are like, I don't want to do the trigger, this and that. But also, if you're having issues with your pump sprayer, you don't want to be wasting this product in any way. So these ones here, a lot of people want to see them in bigger bottles. I think this bottle is appropriate for 2 reasons. You're able to maneuver it when you're getting into certain areas. A bottle like this can be, you're working on a wheel, the tire's only this thick. So if you have a larger bottle and you're trying to, it's going to be restricting in some motions of ergonomics in the trigger pulls and everything.
So Magic Wheel Cleaner, safe for all
for all wheels types. In my opinion, it's the strongest, best wheel cleaner that I've ever used, and we've gone head to head with a few different ones, and they've beat it out. They beat out some of the top ones that were, that we've used, and we've used quite a bit of, and they're all reactive. The reactive wheel cleaners are always going to be the ones that really do the heavy work. And if you don't need heavy work, that's where this boy comes in, this bad boy right here.
All around hustler too.
Yes.
This one right here.
We use Alkaline wheel cleaner. This is a 14. This is a pH of 14. This wheel cleaner, and this is not, and just so you know, this is non-acidic. So it's not an acid-based wheel cleaner. And that's what makes it so crazy. And that's what gives it that crazy dwell time. Obviously, you want to read the directions. You don't want it drying in the sun. You don't want any of that stuff. So you do have to be careful with it. It's a reactive chemical. It can do damage if not used properly. Alkaline wheel cleaner, dilutable on the other hand. This one here for maintenance vehicles, if diluted properly, and you guys read directions, we're gonna have a whole video just on dilution ratios. But if you're gonna be using this, you dilute it based off of how you need it. We dilute it on a maintenance vehicle, no touch process kind of platform. So I want my alkaline wheel cleaner to be strong enough to where an average maintenance vehicle that we service once a month or every 2 weeks, I want it to be strong enough to where I don't have to put my hands on the wheels at that point. And sometimes I'll go in with this first to kick out the grime to follow behind this.
I was going to say, people are going to ask.
Yeah.
Can you stack it?
I don't stack them. I don't like anything with the Magic Wheel Cleaner. I will rinse everything off before. Like one time me and Sal were working on a car and I said, hey, can you put on the Magic Wheel Cleaner? Or no, I asked him to put on I asked you to do something, and he put the Alkaline Wheel Cleaner over the Magic Wheel Cleaner. Pretty much all he did was dilute it down, and now you're stopping you're interfering with the Magic Wheel Cleaner's magic because you're putting another chemical on it. It's going to dilute it down. It's going to change the chemistry. And Sal was like, well, what's the problem? I said, well, you literally just wasted what the Magic Wheel Cleaner was doing. Like its properties are in its concentrate the way that it is. We know as we dilute, we start to lose its concentration and its active ingredients. So Alkaline Wheel Cleaner, I've heard horror stories of guys using it straight and ruining wheels. So this one, glossy wheels, you got to be careful as well. I've never had an issue with any glossy wheels. We dilute it 10 ounces to 2 gallons in the IK Foam Pro 12. And we just go through with a light, just hit the insides real quick and then hit the outside. That thing has a big foam spray, a good long dwell time on this. With this one, we're able to do the same process as we were talking about with this one, where we do this first, then do the pre-wash phase and the whole thing, and then rinse off. Also, we're working out the proper temperature, so keep that in mind too. If you're in a shop setting, this process will work for you. If you're working early mornings, this process will work for you. If you're in California for a majority of the day, this process will probably work for you.
Vehicles that have just been driven, obviously they're going to be hot.
Yes.
Right. Take precautions.
Yes.
Cool it down first.
Always. Let it cool down before you start putting this stuff on. You don't want to have any kind of chemical etching on any surfaces of these brake systems, rims, components. They can be very expensive.
So a Magic Wheel Cleaner has fallout properties in it, right?
As reactive, yeah. So it's breaking down.
So people might say, well, isn't that overkill? You put in this, you're putting this, and then you're hitting it with another dedicated fallout remover.
This is primarily for paint,
right?
In glass. Paint, glass, and exterior surfaces. It's safe on all the exterior surfaces of the vehicle. So if you're doing paint chip repair, and if you're washing the vehicle first, say you're doing a big paint chip repair or whatever, or you're doing a full detail. Usually we're doing a full detail and then we're doing the rock chip repair after. So this is a good one to have to hit all those little rock chips because it's going to pull out. There's videos online where you see dents and creases in cars where there's big areas of just rust, and they shoot it with the rapid rust remover and they let it dwell, and then they rinse it with water and the rust is gone. So it also can be used we use this as a prep before the grimy work. Prep before we clay, prep before we polish. This is like a preparation product, the way that we use it primarily. Prep before you do rock touch up.
Side note on the fallout, it seems I got a good sense of smell. So it seems that the more funky it is, the more it's going to work. Yeah. This one is funky.
Like boy, Eye Candy.
Oh, man.
Shout out to Eye Candy out there in San Jose. Our boy, man, he's doing his thing, man. He's you see his work, man. He's not messing around. Man. He gets down, and I like him. He's funny, man. If you're not following him, go follow our boy Eye Candy. He's a local detailer in our area. Good dude, working hard, honest, and he says, man, if it don't smell like huevos, your detailer ain't doing it right. Rapid rust remover, Magic Wheel Cleaner. And there's been times where I was in a pinch and I had to use this on the wheels and it got down. But the red line is for the grimy stuff. Alkaline Wheel Cleaner, we use it. Again, you could use it, dilute it how you want. You can make it for the grimy stuff. You can make it for the maintenance stuff. And that stuff is dilutable. It stretches quite a while. So depending on if I'm filling up my IK, the 2 gallons of that with 10 ounces of this, I could probably get through about 6 vehicles. And so that's quite a bit off of 10 ounces of product. So that stretches out quite a bit. And when I'm putting in the IK, it's dwelling. Another thing about Alkaline Wheel Cleaner is the way that it's able to clean the tire.
No scrubbing. Is
insane. If you're doing it, like as we said before, we do this on mostly maintenance stuff. This will take off all the grime in such a literally as fast as you spray it on, you start to see that grime come off. And if they're real grimy, I'll go through there and hit it twice. And if you have a decent pressure washer, or maybe you need to do a light scrub on those tires, or if you're using a dressing like HPC where the dressing's not caked on and it's not holding on, I'm very seldomly am I scrubbing these tires anymore. With Magic Wheel Cleaner, I'm always hitting the tire with this first because I want this to do the work. This is not going to, Magic Wheel Cleaner is not it doesn't work on the tires. It's not formulated for that. I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, this one works on tires and wheels. That's cool, but it ain't going to get down. You're 2-in-1. It's not going to get down like a dedicated. Again, we're gonna throw this term out there: targeted performance. Targeted performance for those grimy wheels. Targeted performance for that rust remover, for that iron fallout removal, for that prep stage. Targeted performance for the alkaline cleaning, for the tires, for all the organics, for the wheels that don't need much. This also. You can put it in a spray bottle, you could dilute it, but foaming action on this thing, the longer it dwells on those tires and wheels, the better it's going to activate and really go to work. So I've even used this stuff where Sal's doing the MS, say we're going around a car and that back area of the car is nasty work. I might be, hey, Sal, I'm going to hit this real quick with the Alkaline Wheel Cleaner. So just make sure you rinse that part first. And there's times where I ran out of stuff and man, I had to go in with the alkaline wheel cleaner to hit these fleets.
Yeah, the directions say don't put it on painted surfaces, but sometimes,
hey, man, sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
What you got to do.
But that's also
we're assuming all risks.
Yes, yes. I don't recommend that, but we know what it's capable of doing, and I said, hey, we're running low on some stuff, and in the time, what are you going to do? Just leave, go off site. You got a few more.
For example, this is Polestar. This is MZR.
Yeah, so that's second level. Yes, so first level, second level, and we're going to talk about the case use again. If you're going into a vehicle and you're choosing the wrong one of these to clean your wheels with, that's a difference in time. That's a difference in efficiency. That's a difference in everything, in performance, in consistency. That could be a difference in the overall outcome, because this could have done a little bit more when you needed it than this. So we always lean towards the side of, okay, I would rather it do too much work than not enough work. For instance, if you go into a car using Polestar, but it really needed MZR, and you should have just started. We now know if we're doing something, we're like, okay, the Polestar could do it, but you're working a little too hard. It's like, no, okay, I'm working too hard. Let me go get the MZR. Let me knock this out. Same thing with these. If you're working too hard on the rim and you're not seeing anything happen here, okay, let's stop playing games. I'm sorry, this one just isn't for you. Now this one steps up. It's like baseball. Yo, this pitcher, he ain't cutting it today. He's having lady problems at home. He ain't right.
You gotta put in accuracy.
Yeah, you gotta throw in Hideo Nomo. You gotta throw in. You gotta throw in.
Man, I heard that name a long time.
It's like you gotta put in someone who's gonna step up. Who might be a little wild, could get a little crazy, but hey, it's time. So case use is always huge. Choice in your selections that you make prior to starting the detail is what this system is all about. The targeted performance. Once you understand and comprehend the full lineup, you know the targeted performance that it's going to be able to do for you. So you immediately know, okay, I need this, I need this, I need this, I need this. There's times where I use both, and there's no problem. People might be like, oh, that's a lot of work. That's a lot. This is still saying, even with using both of these, I'm still saving more time than I was using most of the other brands out there. And you guys have seen the videos where I just spray the rims, both sides, let it do its thing. You've seen all the other brands that we've used. I don't want to name any brands, but you guys have seen them where we just go head to head with it and we show you. We don't like scrubbing. We don't like.
How is it compared to Chocolate Thunder?
Yeah, well, Chocolate Thunder, you got to scrub. Chocolate Thunder, I only use Chocolate Thunder full strength too. I didn't dilute Chocolate Thunder. So there's guys out there that are saying it's worth it because it's cheap, but they're trying to dilute it also. So it's like even when it was at full strength, that product I used a ton of it. I think I used it all on like 2 cars. And that was like the 32 ounce bottle. So you make your choice on what's cheaper, what's not, what you like, what you want to do. If you don't mind being down there scrubbing wheels for 5 to 10 minutes each wheel, then you stay where you're at. But we want the wheels to be done as a part of the process, and we want the chemicals to do the work. That's what we like. So, and we know not everybody's like that. I know some of you guys want that tactical feel. Some of you guys just like to work hard. That's cool. So this shit ain't for you. Just stick with whatever you're using. You know what I mean? But this is for those who are like, I'm more concerned about my business and making my money. So it's a whole nother way of thinking when approaching a vehicle and a job.
We use pHs real quick. People like that.
Yeah.
Alkaline wheel cleaner, pH of 14. Magic wheel cleaner, pH of 5.5. Reactive rust remover, 7.5. Mm-hmm.
So slightly acidic. Is it acidic?
It's non-acidic, but it's on the acidic
it's
side.
on the acidic side. So that's the red line. You might be saying, well, why do you need the alkaline wheel cleaner if it's so good? And then the magic wheel cleaner. Like we said, I don't use magic wheel cleaner very often. One of these bottles will usually get me about 3 cars, and the time savings alone on those 3 cars is worth the price of this bottle. Because with any other cleaner, even the strongest cleaners, I would have to be working on those wheels for a very long time. This still cuts down on time. And you also got to be aware of how you're spraying it too. People are like, oh, it's too expensive and I only get a little bottle. Well, how are you spraying it? Are you really intentionally spreading the product as you're pulling the trigger? Are you hitting that barrel really good, on the inside so it's running all the way down? Are you being effective? Maybe you need to put in a pump sprayer so it spreads out a little bit more, so it's, so it lays evenly. All that stuff is always going to lay into your cost per use when you're not using it properly. But alkaline wheel cleaner, I could go just with alkaline wheel cleaner. Yes, I can. But I'm going to do more scrubbing. That's the bottom line. And that's the part that I don't always like to do. If I see some hammered wheels, I use this like I use acid. Like when it's time to pull out acid, in my mind, when I would have to use acid in the past, now I'm reaching for this. And it's not always an acid case. Some guys love acid and they just only use acid. I like to reserve it for this stuff because I don't want to be exposing myself, or over time it just does too much. So this is second level, reaching for my acid.
So for you guys that don't like to, I ain't got money for that, get this and scrub. You'll be happy.
Yes. I promise. It'll still whoop on most wheel cleaners out there, and it's dilutable and it will get down. I've seen people try to compare Green Star with like Adam's wheel cleaner.
Yes.
It's like, though, that's a dedicated wheel cleaner that you're trying to put up against an all-purpose cleaner. Like let's show some targeted performance. Like put this up. This hangs in. You could dilute this to where it hangs in there with Adam's wheel cleaner. You can do that. You can make it that strong. This one here, the only thing, because Adam's wheel cleaner, a lot of people say and it is a good wheel cleaner, but this one here, this one will put it on Adam's wheel cleaner on the wheels itself, but it won't do the tire. This one, you could get it to where it's about the same as the Adam's wheel cleaner. But again, targeted use for both. With this one, dilute it however you wish, if you want to scrub or not. But we always recommend, if it needs to get scrubbed, just scrub it. But this eliminates a lot of the work that we don't have to do on the front end when it comes to wheels. And the last part that we're going to have is going to be this bad boy in the red line. Tell me about this one, Sal.
So this is the clay bar. The clay bar comes in 2 different colors, blue and red. Blue is mild. This one is aggressive. So we bring this out on those Toyota Camrys, those Nissan Sentras that they're getting the works. This bad boy takes care of it.
If that thing is clapped out, sitting outside.
Like we use clay mitt too, but sometimes the clay mitt just don't cut it, man. I'm there for days.
Well, and it's not that's another thing. Again, let's get back to choice, right?
Right.
Like what's the difference between grabbing the clay mitt and trying to do it all with the clay mitt? There's a certain point where it's the same.
When the clay mitt, when you're hitting it, you could tell it's not grabbing. You could tell that I gotta go repeatedly over this. No, with this one, it's like 2.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't think people realize that, because a lot of people will only go, oh, I'm just a clay mitt guy or clay towel, and I'm just a clay bar guy. We run with both.
Will a clay mitt work? Yes, they're going to be there longer.
A lot longer.
Yes.
A lot longer.
And then when you bring out the aggressive, what's the name of this? RKR?
RKR. I didn't even try. Reckengungskenetirot.
That was close.
I tried.
So this is for that nasty paint, man. I don't know about you guys, man, but Toyota paint, white paint, it's a magnet in that paint. When that Toyota shows up, that Nissan shows up, man, like it's almost like, no. I don't care if it's garage kept. When it needs the big boy, like this one, it just pulls so much. Well, we use about We use about, because we both clay. We don't usually have the vehicle pretty.
Yeah, that's one of those times where we split. One of the few.
I get the top. I get the SUV. I get the top.
I say, hey, Sal, you just get the top. It'll be the roof, the hood, and I'll get the whole sides. Or it'll be like, hey, I'll get the front, the back, and the tops. You just get the sides, like depending on the type of vehicle. And that's one of the few tasks that we actually will split down the middle, because we have a certain expectation and standard when it comes to claying. We had a video that came out years ago where it showed all the different types of clays. And we've tried at least 15 different types of clay applications and types, whether it's clay bars of different types, whether it's Chinese made, USA made, Japanese made. The Japanese is always the best. I'm sure this shit right here, it's it. You know, I know immediately when I'm working on one. Sal even knows the difference between, you go down to O'Reilly and you get the little Meguiar's, the little clay kit that has the spray wax and plan on working for a long time. That's gonna be about as effective as a clay mitt.
So if you're a DIYer, I'm pretty sure you don't need this one. You get around with your clay mitt. If you're a detailing business, have this in the arsenal.
How much time will that cut out if say the job is rough and you try to go in there with the clay
on the clay mat? It's not even, well, it's always about time, but it's more so the shoulder work. You talk about elbow grease. That's when that motion, man, that same motion hurts.
Well, so what do you think about those where they're like, oh well, I'm just good with the blue one? Like let them know the levels.
Okay, so
they have an idea like how the difference is. Like go from clay mitt all the way from blue to red.
Clay mitt, rinseless.
Okay, that's its effectiveness.
Yeah. Okay. So it can get down, rinse, it gets down, all that stuff. Yeah. The blue one, Polestar, the RKR, MZR.
Okay.
That's how easiest I can put it, man.
All right. So you have three different levels, and each level, would you say, is how much time savings would you say from going like, say, the blue clay bar to the red clay bar? How much time and work savings would you say if you had to put it in a percentage? A car where you started doing with the blue, say you did half the hood, then you're like, man, forget this. I'm going to grab the red.
I say 50%.
50%.
Yeah.
50%, yes. 50% time savings. And during your decontamination stage, guys, the type of clay bar makes a huge difference. You're like, oh yeah, well, I don't need that. My clay, the only advantage that those clay towels have is that they're reusable. Flat out. That's it. Like there's a certain degree of work that they do, then they're ineffective. Like they just don't do it's not gonna get a certain level that you need if you're doing certain type of work. There's times where I've used that mitt and I used 2 mitts, rinsed it out, wring it out, like did everything. I had all 4 sides, 8 times, all this stuff. And the paint still didn't feel what I knew. The paint still didn't have the feel that I knew it could have with the clay bar. And there's been times where Sal was like, oh yeah, I'll just do it. I'm like, yo, don't even mess around anymore. Here, grab the clay bar. And I think when he grabbed the clay bar for the first time and I showed him, I said, okay, now feel the difference of how it's gone and how much longer it's taking with that other bar or with the clay mitt or towel. And he's just like, yo, bro, let's not waste no time.
I got bad shoulders, so
yeah,
I feel the difference.
So nowadays, Sal's are you more inclined to grab the clay bar or the mitt when it comes to us doing? If we got a job using the red line,
I'm not grabbing no mitt.
Yeah,
I'm going. If we're pulling the red line out,
I'm fucking with no mitts.
Nah.
And that look on his face says it all.
Yeah, like, oh, it's the last one. Okay, well, I'll take less. We'll get 2 more of them things on deck.
I'll use a little baby piece.
Yeah.
And that's all we got. I'd rather use that than that clay.
Man, this stuff's so good. Like, you kind of want to save it. That's how good it works.
Well, some of those cheapos do save them. And there's still some life in it.
Yeah, man. We wash this thing.
But you just need the clay if you have to move it around. And clay is not one of those things where it's not cheap. It's expensive. I think these run for around $40-$45 for a good clay bar. But the time savings from the cheap one you're talking probably somewhere in like 60% difference. As far as
if you're bringing this out, you should be getting paid. So that the cost of it shouldn't matter.
If you're pulling any of these out, you should be getting paid. Again, this one's dilutable, so you can save more money doing this. You're going to have to put a little bit more hand work and scrub and elbow grease in, but you're going to get some effective cleaning. This one here, the big dog. Again, reserved. It's for those special occasions. That's when this one comes out. RRR on the paint surface, on the glass, on any rust spots, on those areas that are, heavy. This is a decon. So we're putting this on before we do a polish, before we do the clay. Then the clay. The clay is the big dog. This is also prep work. So this is all heavy, grimy, dirty work business, the red line. So the red line for us is when we know we're going into something that's rough, we're grabbing all red line stuff. Get the whole red line out. We got it. Same thing as if we're gonna go over the orange label next. Same thing. It comes in tiers, and we're going to give you case uses, how we use it, when it's effective, when not to use it, and really how to make money with this system. We were at an event yesterday, and one of the students was there. He goes, I love the fact that just knowing I have everything I need that could tackle any type of job, because there's so many targeted areas of performance that these bring to your arsenal, where you just have, okay, I got something for that. Oh, okay, I got something for that. I have a specialty product for that also gets down doing other stuff. So that is where the value in this line is. And that's it for the red line. I don't know if you got anything else you want to.
No, we do another video of real time.
Yeah, we'll do one. And we've had a couple videos where we show it, but we'll show you guys exactly the process on maybe our next wash and talk.
And it's cool because the color, you can tell the color difference. It reacts different, the color where it's pooling. So
oh yes, too. Yeah, so the decon.
We'll see you guys see all see all that stuff.
In the video. We'll get that video out for you guys. But if you guys have any questions on the red line, or if you have any comments or any ways that you guys are using it, put them in the description below. You guys pick this all up at Car Supplies Warehouse. Details 10, save you some change. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.